guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a really fun and exciting video. I know I say that for every video, but this one is a little bit different. It's actually like a bookish review on my precious Kindle. I feel like when I was trying to debate on whether or not to get a Kindle, and I did this for the longest time because I'm super indecisive. I was wondering if it's even worth it, and this was before I had the surprise of getting it for a Christmas gift, so I've had it for a good amount of time, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for this gift. I'm so happy. It's funny because when I was debating whether or not to get a Kindle, I would watch a million of these videos and I would literally ask my friends and everybody if it was worth getting a Kindle, and then here I am now making a Kindle review because I'm obsessed, and I feel like I should just explain and tell you why you should just stop using the time and like look around and just get it. Just get the Kindle because you're not gonna regret it. And I figured I might as well share like a review and tell you guys like what I think of it, because I've had this since December of this past year and I wanted to just do a review about whether or not you should get a Kindle and if it's worth it. I'm probably gonna be that friend that's gonna tell you to do the bad decision and just get it, but I'm gonna explain to you why I think you should just get a Kindle, especially if you love reading and you love books. I'm gonna explain why the Kindle changed like my reading game and what I love about it. I'm also gonna do like a mini walkthrough and like share some of the things I love about the Kindle, and I have the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, so I will also put like my links of everything I have in the description. I will be going over through like a mini walkthrough, like how I feel about it, my review, as well as like a semi-mini unboxing. I've already unboxed it, but I have like all the things from when I've unboxed it, and yeah, let's dive into it. And I'm so excited to share my thoughts. I also want to say that this is not going to be like a techie review because I'm not a technical person. I am just an average reader who just loves reading, and I love books, and I just want to put in my perspective of the Kindle. Oh man, I was like so low in the last clip, so yeah. I might be a little bit more taller now. I just wanted to share my perspective as a person who just enjoys reading and loves reading, and someone who was so against getting an e-reader and who is now super pro e-reader. Okay, so starting with the Kindle Paperwhite, this is the box it'll come in, and I don't know if you guys will see it. Kind of just making sure I'm in focus. So this is the Kindle Paperwhite. I got the Signature Edition, and this is a 32 gigabyte, which I feel like is pretty good. A lot of people say that they don't ever fill their Kindle completely, so I feel like even a 16 gigabyte would be fine. Like you'll do perfectly fine. So far I've had maybe 7 or 8 books on my Kindle at once, and a few of those were the Harry Potter books, which were quite hefty. I haven't once had any full data or anything, so I feel like it's more than enough. And everybody else who've had like a 16 gigabyte, so they never even fill it. So this one is a 6.8 size, and I particularly love this one. So this is what the box looks like, and I did kind of already open it. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys what's in the box if you're curious, because when I was looking at these videos I wanted to see what people got inside of their boxes, and it just pretty much comes like this. Your Kindle will be kind of wrapped up in like a clear white foamy like styrofoam, and then so your Kindle will be right here when you pull it out of the box, which is super exciting. And then you'll have like your little opening slot right here. I'm trying to make sure the sun doesn't glare. So you have like your little opening slot, and inside you'll have your charger for the Kindle, and then you'll have just the manual. And this is going to be the Kindle. I'm going to kind of do like a mini walkthrough from like top to the bottom of the Kindle, and this is what mine looks like. I can kind of go over the accessories a little bit later as well, like what you can do to personalize it. So what's really cool about the Kindle is that there's no glare on it, and this Kindle Paperwhite is waterproof, so you can take it to the beach, you can take it to the pool, you can take it in the bath. I don't think you can like submerge it in water, but I think if it were to fall in really quickly it should be fine. And I mean, hopefully that does not happen to you, because this will become your bestest friend. I also did like the Signature Edition because it does come with like, it doesn't come with the wireless charging port, but you can charge it wirelessly if you buy the port. Yeah, like I said, this is not like a technical video. This is just me just sharing my precious thoughts on my beloved, and I think it already comes with no ads. A lot of the Kindles already have ads on them, which kind of sucks because it has like really weird cringy ads for like if you're reading romance books, for example, you have like those cringy ads. Even if it's not a book you're reading, you'll just still get those ads and it'll pop up on your lock screen, which is kind of embarrassing. So I did like that mine came with no ads already. You do have to pay for it extra if you don't have it, but yeah. And then also with my purchase of mine, it did come with a 3-month free trial of Kindle Unlimited. So to turn it on, you would normally just press the bottom button at the very bottom, which a lot of people did complain about because they said that once they're holding it they feel like they click it a lot. I actually have 2 different cases and I'll show you guys, but I use one with a pop socket and I barely ever have that issue, and this one I do hear it every once in a while, but I don't think it's that much of an issue to like turn me off from wanting to buy it. So I'm actually going to switch you guys over so you can have like an aerial view of everything, so it might be a little bit easier to see. So give me 1 second. So we're back on this sort of view, so bear with me. I'm kind of holding the camera up because I don't have a tripod that kind of aims at this perspective. But yeah, so you'll have the top screen. The very top, we'll just go from top to bottom. You'll have like your battery percentage, your Wi-Fi, and then if you pull it down here, you'll have more options, which I really love about this Kindle because you can change the lighting and you can change it from light to dark mode. It's like perfect for nighttime. It helps me become more relaxed and like ease the night a little bit better. Yeah, so it's kind of nice with the dark mode, and so once you slide down and you'll change the setting you want. What's really nice too is that it has auto brightness on this one, so whichever environment you are in, it can adjust to that type of setting. And honestly, the brightness of this is always perfect. I don't ever feel like it's not enough. I don't ever feel like it's too bright, so it's perfect. And it's an anti-glare screen, so when you're looking at it, it's not like looking at your phone world kind of glare. It's always like perfect for me. You can also change the brightness. You can change the warmth with, I think the warmth helps you if you are really sensitive with your eyes. And also I like doing that one when I kind of have like a headache or you don't feel as like your eyes are kind of adjusting a little bit better. I feel like that's like the best setting, but I rarely use that one. I feel like it's totally fine with this one or the dark mode. Those are like my two options. So yeah, that's the top mode. And then what's really cool is you can actually name your Kindle. My Kindle's name is Read. So this is Read the Kindle. What a knee slapper. And that was in props thanks to my hubby for helping me decide the name. You can put it your name. Okay, so we're gonna get out of this screen and I'll kind of show you like what it looks like when you're like reading the book. So when you're reading the book, you can slide your menu up and it'll help you just change like where you're at. So you can find out like which chapter you're in if you wanted to jump to a chapter. But what's really cool is when we're back at the top screen, this is how you just bookmark it. So you just bookmark this little top button and it'll help you just save the page you're on. What's really cool about the Kindle is that you can change your font. So you can change like the font style you want, and this is kind of what it looks like if you want to change like the different fonts. There's so many different ones to choose from, and yeah, I really like that. You like a bold option and as well as the size, which I like because compared to physical books, which I love physical books. I don't want to make it sound like I don't, but I do feel like physical books do have, sometimes you have like one set font and sometimes it's kind of hard to adjust. So yeah, it's nice that you can change that. And what's really cool about this Kindle is that you can attach it to your Goodreads. So you just click this button and put about this book and it'll give you a Goodread option to put marked as read. I love that you can connect it to your Goodreads, which is really, really cool and personable, I think, for me. And one of the other things I absolutely love is you can highlight and save like quotes on here. So it's the same thing as annotating a book, but you'll just be doing it in your Kindle. So you'll kind of hold it down and then it'll give you these two little tabs, and you can just highlight it or however much you want. Like if you want to do a whole page, you highlight it and then it'll let you save it, and you'll have all your saved clippings. Like I think it's on your Kindle, or if you get the Kindle app and connect it, that's the two easiest ways, I would say, two easiest things. So I would just suggest getting the Kindle app because you can just transfer everything to each other. I also love so much that you can look up dictionary words. So like when you're clicking on something, so if you click on a word, it will show you the meaning of it and like a dictionary excerpt, which is really, really nice. So I totally recommend that. It's super nice. It's actually helps me read more because sometimes when I'm reading a physical book, if I don't know how to pronounce a word or don't know what it means, I'm not gonna always go look it up real quick. I'm just gonna keep going. But on the Kindle, you can just do it right there. Okay, so now going towards the bottom, the two main things I freaking love about this Kindle, it will show you the percentage of the book that is left. So like if I'm at the beginning, it'll probably say like 1% done. I'm already done with this book, so it says 99%. And then in the corner, it'll show you various little things. Okay, I don't want to like spoil the book, but I do love this one because it will tell you how much minutes you have within each chapter or of the book, so you can change it. This book is near the end, so it might not show. Oh yeah, so it shows 1 minute left of the chapter, and I love that. I feel like ever since I've gotten my Kindle, I kind of read more faster, but I do feel like because it shows what I'm on and how much time I have left, I do read it so much more faster. And it's also really cool because you can just rate your books right here and it connects it to your Goodreads. So I really love that so much. So now I'm gonna go back to the original, like where I'm sitting down and talking. Okay, so now that I'm back in this view, I kind of want to do like a little bit more of a review. So in terms of size, I feel like it's a perfect size, and this is just like a size comparison with my phone. It's obviously bigger than my phone. This is the iPhone XR, and I feel like the sizing is still really perfect and it's just enough. You can set it up to where your Kindle will save the book cover as your background, so once you lock it and like it's in like sleep mode, this will be your background. Like this is the book I was currently reading, and you can also set it up to where it's not, and it just shows like a Kindle setting. I also wanted to go in depth too because I do read anime and I love like manga. I haven't read any graphic novels on my Kindle, but I would assume it'd be the same thing. Obviously you're not gonna have color in it. I feel like it reads perfectly fine. Let me just show you like an example. I have Spy Family on here so I can show you like kind of what it looks like, because that was one thing I was kind of worried about. This is kind of what it looks like. So it still looks perfectly fine. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see it. Ugh. I don't know if that's good enough. It obviously is glaring right now because I have like my light coming in right now, but when you're reading it, it doesn't ever glare. Like I don't ever feel like I have an issue adjusting it to it. One of the things I love about it is that when I'm reading on my Kindle, I love that I can just read in any type of setting. So mainly when I read a lot at night or during nap times, like when my daughter's taking a nap. She's normally taking a nap next to me and I don't want to wake her up and I don't want to wake anybody. I'm not trying to have my bright book light. No matter what, your book light will kind of be semi-bright because the light kind of radiates a little bit more outwards compared to the Kindle. It's like non-existent. It's not, I don't think it's even as bright as your phone. But the weird part is that it's still bright enough to where you can read. Like it's never where I still like feel like it's not bright enough. It feels like you're reading on an actual book. It kind of gives that feeling of like when you're reading it, it still provides that same type of like paper text. I also love it so much because it doesn't strain my eyes. I do get really sensitive after a while when I look at like screens and stuff, like my computer, my phone. I don't ever have that issue on my Kindle, and if I ever feel like I have a headache or my eyes are kind of sensitive already prior to reading my Kindle, I literally just change the lighting setting and it's perfectly fine. Still helps and I can still read. Also, one thing that's great about the Kindle is it's such a game changer. So once you start reading in bed, because I read a lot at night, once you start reading in bed, especially when you have a pop socket and you just hold your Kindle, it's the same thing as holding your phone. Like it's just so easy to lay down and read a book, and it's more easier to just catch up on more reading. Like you're more likely to want to read compared to holding a heavy book, especially if you have like a big book, like Ninth House. It's a pretty hefty, thick book. You're not gonna want to hold that while laying down. And I do feel like I've read so much more faster ever since getting my Kindle. I think it's because you can also, like there's only a certain set amount of words on a page, and for some reason it's not as intimidating as like when you're reading a heavy book. Like let's say you have like a classic book. A lot of the classics have like really tiny writing, or those mass market books. A lot of it is just kind of crammed onto one page, which I didn't think was going to be an issue, but once you have the Kindle, it's so different. Like you look at it in such a different perspective, because now when I read, I realize I read so much more faster on my Kindle because it's all set right there, and I can obviously change like the sizing, the font style and everything, which I can see how much I read and I get more done. It's almost like reading little increments and just getting so much more done. So I've noticed that that has been so much more faster for me. Also, one thing I really love about the Kindle is that you will start to become more minimal about the types of books you'll have, which you can also have a bunch of books. Like I would love to have a room full of books. There's some books that I don't really care to keep on my bookshelf. Like for example, there's some like festive holiday rom-coms I've read that I only want to just read once for the holidays and then that's it. Like I don't really care to keep it on my bookshelf. I'm not going to read it any other time, and I feel like that's so great when you have the Kindle because you can just read it. It's like one and done. Also, I've kind of noticed, this isn't all the time, so don't quote me on this, but a lot of the books on Kindle, like the Kindle versions, are more cheaper compared to the physical book prices, and sometimes they're on sale. So it's really cool that you can get that option. That's like another option for you to get in terms of saving a little bit more money, especially after you buy the Kindle. You're probably going to want to save some money, and that's like one huge factor that I loved about it. Also, I love that when I go somewhere, if you're traveling, if you're in college or you're leaving to college, if you're going to work and you just want to bring a book that you normally do, it is nice to bring a book, and I feel like having a book with you and reading is a personality trait. But having a Kindle and having so much options to choose from, so like if you're traveling and you're going somewhere and you don't know what book to bring, you can just bring them all, and if you decide to change your mind, you can just download whatever book you're at wherever you're at. I would suggest getting 3 apps. So I would suggest getting the Goodreads app, I would suggest getting the Kindle app, and then also suggest getting the Libby app. These are the main 3 things that I love that work with the Kindle. So the Libby app is, I think it's like a third-party app, I'm not for sure, but the Libby app is nice because you can actually connect it to your library card. So if you have a library card, you can connect it to your local library or various libraries actually, and you can download it, and it's almost the same as if you went to a library and whatever books they have, instead of just getting it physically, you can just download it straight to your Kindle and it will return it on its own. So you have to worry about returning it, you don't have to worry about sending it back, and that's one thing I love so much. I've read so much more books because I can connect it to the Libby app. I do go physically to the library, which I absolutely love and adore, but sometimes like you're not gonna always have time to just run to the library, or you want to reach out to like another book. Because I do booktube and I love doing booktube videos, sometimes I'll change like what kind of video or what kind of books I want to read, and if I already checked out books at the library recently, I'm not going to want to go back to the library and look again. I can literally just download it onto my Kindle. The only thing is like you're not always going to find the books you're going to want. It's the same thing as the library, but I feel like having more options is so nice. Like it's super convenient. Another huge thing I love is the fact that when you have your Kindle, you can also connect it to, I connect it to my Amazon Prime account, and sometimes Amazon will have like free books books. So it'll be like, I think it's like Amazon Prime Reading. They have a lot of free books, and I feel like that's really cool because you can have more options on that, which I'm pretty sure if you can find any other place, there's so much more options you can find in terms of like free books. But it's nice because sometimes I'm not going to know what I want to bring, so I'm always going to bring this. So I'm always going to bring this along, even if I decide to bring like a physical book. Plus it's so much more lighter, like it's super thin, super light, and you can just carry around everywhere. So I definitely recommend that, especially if you're on a lunch break or you're in college. It's easier to just bring this out and just read it. I don't know why, I just feel like I read so much more easier and I fall into the reading world so much faster when I'm reading on my Kindle compared to when I'm reading a physical book. Because the thing about reading a physical book is that sometimes you're gonna have to make sure the lighting is perfect, or it's gonna take you a minute to find like a comfortable spot to hold your book. Like it's just like, it sounds like little stupid little tiny details, but it makes a huge difference, especially when it comes to lighting. And I feel like the Kindle, the backlight it has on it is just like top tier. Is perfect because I never feel like it's never enough, and I never feel like it's too bright. So I definitely recommend it if you haven't gotten it. And if you're watching this and you're debating on it, I literally was watching a bunch of videos like this, like, should I get one? Okay, in terms of charge power with the Kindle Paperwhite, I think if your Kindle were to run out a complete battery, so it's at 0%, it's like completely dead, I think it takes about 1 to 3 hours to fully charge. And the length of how long it lasts without having to charge it is like perfect. It says, like, I googled it and it says it lasts for about between like 6 to 10 weeks. I don't know how accurate that is, but I've noticed that having my Kindle, I read almost every day on this, if not every other day. Let me put this in like in a certain like type of term. I'm not great at explaining this. So I've had this Kindle since December. I think at most I can count how many times I've charged this on my hand. That's how much I've had to charge it. I haven't even charged it that much, but yeah, that's like barely enough. That's like so good. That's one huge factor that I feel like was super beneficial about how long the battery lasts without having to charge it. Also, I forgot to say one last thing. You can get audiobooks on your Kindle and then you can listen to it, I think, via Bluetooth. I think it's on this Kindle. I'm not for sure about the other ones, so I do like that concept as well. Okay, and in terms of the really fun part, I feel like this was so fun for me, was the accessories. So this is one of the cases I got for it. I feel like a lot of people don't have cases on their Kindles and their Kindles are fine, so I don't think you have to have a case for it. I just have one because I am super clumsy and I do have a toddler, so you know, you never know what's gonna happen. Especially with me, I feel like I'm more likely and more prone to drop or mess something up, so I just want to make sure like everything stays in like top tier condition, because this is something I'm gonna use almost every single day. So I want to make sure that I had something to protect it. And this case is from Etsy. I got all my things from Etsy except for one thing, which I'll show you. I'll show like all the accessories I have. So if you're looking for accessories, I'll put the links of what I found, and I totally recommend checking out Etsy because they have so many cute personalized and like different types of like cases and pop sockets and just carriers for your Kindle that can kind of make it a little bit more personalized and more different. So other than the fact that you can name your Kindle, which I don't know, I just think that's so cool. Anything you can name, I mean, you don't even have to like put a name to name it, but I just love that I can name my Kindle. It feels more personable. But I do have this case, which I absolutely love and adore. I like it because this company, you can actually personalize it, and I put my name at the bottom and you can change your font, which I thought was so cute. And she had different designs. This is like my favorite one. I just felt like it was so delicate. It gave me like a classic design and I love it. So it's also magnetized, so as soon as you close it, it'll turn it off and put in like sleep mode eventually, and then yeah, it will like turn back on again. I wanted something a little bit more flat as well. Like sometimes if I wanted to just bring something where I could just stick in my bag, I wanted something like that where it's just more flat. One of the best options I would totally recommend about having is like, especially when you're reading at night, this is one of the biggest things I love, was having a pop socket on it. And I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like with the pop socket. Okay, so I'm not gonna put it in the thing just because it's like too much trouble to do right now, but this is the clear case I got. I like this one, and I got this one on Amazon. So this one is just like a normal clear, like I think it's like called a TPU rubber case, and I like it because if it were to drop, I feel protected with it. And I like this one because it's more smooth. A lot of them have like ridges and stuff, which I don't know, for some reason I just feel like it just, I didn't like that. But it does like have like these bumper corners for like shock if you were to drop it. And then the super freaking cute pop socket, which is so adorable, and it like comes out all the way, so if you ever want to like stand it up for any reason, you can. And yeah, this is exactly how I read at night. Like I'll just be laying in bed, I'll be holding my Kindle like this. It's like looking at your phone. It's super nice. I totally recommend it, especially because it's a little bit bigger than your normal phone. I feel like having a pop socket was really nice. They have different colors too. They have like a pink one, a blue one, and a green one. and I like the material of it. Like, it just feels sturdier, and it's a little bit bigger, which I totally love because your Kindle is a little bit bigger than your phone, so it's kind of nice to have like a little bit more of a heftier and like bigger pop socket, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Totally recommend it if you are looking for like a nice pop socket, because it is going to be something you're going to hold almost every single day, especially if you're a big reader. Especially if you are a big reader, this is going to be like your new buddy. This is going to be something you're going to take with you everywhere, and you're going to want to personalize it and have it more like personable and more cuter. So I totally recommend just like decking it out and like cute little things. I know a lot of people do like the clear ones, they put like stickers, so you can do so many different options with it. And then the last thing I did get is, I might have gone a little bit extra when it came to this, but like I said, I just want to take care of my stuff. Also, this was a present, so of course I'm gonna want to take care of it and treat it with respect. But the last thing I got was like a little carrier, because I do carry a lot of stuff when I leave the house. Like I said, I have a toddler, so I'm gonna leave the house all the time with a bunch of other things. So it's not like I'm gonna just throw my Kindle in there with just like nothing else. I'm gonna be throwing in there with a bunch of other stuff I have to bring for my toddler as well as for myself. And this is like one of the things I wanted to get. It's just like a little foam like carrier. I like this one because it actually fits this Kindle. This one fits really well with the pop socket on it and with both cases. It's like a Velcro front pocket, so if you ever want to put something in there like your charger or your cord, and then the inside is like a little foamy, like kind of plushy feeling, and it has like that, I think it's supposed to be like a microfiber material. I'm not for sure if that's what it's called, but I'll link every single one of these items in the description. But yeah, if you guys are thinking about getting a Kindle, if you're thinking about getting a Kindle, you're probably doing the same thing I was doing before I had my Kindle. You're probably watching a bunch of these videos and deciding whether or not I should get a Kindle, whether or not it's worth it. Like, I'm not an e-reader, I didn't want to be an e-reader, but now I'm just all about being an e-reader. I still love physical books, and I want physical books, and so yeah, if you're thinking about getting one, just get it because you're not going to regret it. I feel like everybody's Kindles have lasted such a long time. It's so exciting too when you get your Kindle, because it's like getting a new little buddy, and especially if you're a big reader and you love reading, you know that it's going to be like your new little friend, and you're always going to bring it everywhere. You're always going to have it, and it's going to be like your own special little bookish friend. I love my little read. I love it so much. I would definitely recommend it. I haven't had any cons with it. It changes the way I read. Like, it changes the pace I read, it changes how I read. Also, if you do have a Kindle, let me know how you felt when you first got it, because that's another thing I also did. Is like, I didn't just look at these videos when I was wanting to get a Kindle. I was looking at these videos even when I got my Kindle, because it's just so exciting to like reflect on how other people feel too, because it's such an exciting thing. Like, this is such a piece of technology that is so cool. It's so awesome to have one. So like, everybody who has had a Kindle, I haven't heard one bad thing. Like, everybody is obsessed with their Kindle. I just love these type of videos because they're really fun and exciting. They hype you up. You can really relate to the person who's absolutely adoring their Kindle, because once you have one, there's no going back. Like, you understand why. But yeah, I totally recommend having the Kindle. This is my personal take and my review on the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. Let me know in the comments if you guys have a Kindle, how you guys feel about it, why you guys love it so much, and if you are thinking about a Kindle, let me know which one you guys do get. I'm excited to see all the new Kindle e-readers. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!
Slow down, hold on tight now. It's okay to meet me at the front line. I've got cold feet, winter drives